Hey guys, I'm RejectedShotgun. So, Blizzard has decided that Junkrat may not be in an extremely good place in the game at the moment, which I might have to agree with considering that his play rate is way down lately, and you don't see that many Junkrats in your games, even in quick play. However, all of that might be changing soon because Junkrat is getting changed around internally on Blizzard's end, and we might be seeing him on the PTR very soon. So today, let's talk about it. So, it seems like the developers and a lot of community members think that Junkrat isn't in a very good place, and while I would argue with that a little bit, I would like to just say that Junkrat isn't in a bad place, but I feel like fighting dive comp characters is not exactly easy for him because he has no evasion abilities, and he has no abilities to really attack other enemies who are evading as well. The only weapon that Junkrat really has that is effective in the current dive, in my opinion, is his concussion mine, which is very good at killing Pharahs, Genjis, and many other squishy characters. With that being said, there are some combos that should work for Junkrat that don't. For example, if you trap a Mercy in your Junkrat trap and then you try to blow her up with a concussion mine nearby, you will find that it just won't kill her because Mercy's health regeneration means that Junkrat's combo does not work. There are a lot of other little cases like this with Junkrat that would really be nice if they were fixed, and it seems like that might be exactly what Blizzard's doing, but it's also looking like they're taking this buff to Junkrat a little bit farther than just that. But everything changed when a user on the Blizzard forums decided to post their idea for a Junkrat rework. They posted new damage for the concussion mine, new damage for the trap, and they decided that they would reduce the cooldown on the concussion mine too. And there's a link in the description if you're curious about all the stats they posted, but essentially they reworked Junkrat in a really nice way that a lot of people on the forum appreciated. A lot of people apparently includes Geoff Goodman, who is the principal designer on Overwatch. He noticed this post and he replied to it, saying the following: "This is pretty close to what we're trying with him, and what will likely be on the PTR when it comes back up. Currently, on our internal builds, Junkrat has 2 charges of his concussion mine. This allows you to do all kinds of cool stuff, like launch yourself into a fight and still have a charge to escape with, or launch yourself up into a Pharah and still have a charge to try and kill her with. Previously, this was impossible before, but you had to plant one on the ground and then wait for a cooldown to come back up before doing this. Now, that is still possible, which means that if you wanted to, you could do a triple jump if you wanted to needed to do this, but now it's a lot more reliable to do it with 2 of these mines. It has been a ton of fun to play with so far. We're looking to make this ult a little better as well. We're experimenting with movement speed increases or a health increase on the tire. We wouldn't do both, but in either case, it should be more reliable in more situations." So the vibes that I'm getting from Geoff here is that Junkrat needs a sort of escape ability or some kind of movement ability that will allow him to still use his concussion mine. So on their side of things, they have Junkrat with 2 concussion mines. I'm going to assume they work on a 4-second cooldown, very similar to how Tracer's blinks work, which is extremely exciting because one of the biggest problems with Junkrat is not that his damage is too low, but it's that he can't really escape many situations. If you have a flanker or some kind of attack hero who goes after Junkrat, you're hard pressed to find a way out. You know, your team has really got to save you because while you can spam some crazy bombs, if you're fighting a Genji, it's going to be a problem. He could reflect and then dash into you, dealing a lot of damage. Then there's not much you can do other than just run for your life screaming with like a chicken with your head cut off. Like, there's not really much you could do. But now that you have 2 concussion mines, I'm thinking it's going to be a lot more viable to actually be able to escape as Junkrat. It's going to be a lot more viable to actually contest Pharahs in the air and not just get destroyed by her much more precise bombs. Overall, I'm really happy with these changes. I never really thought to myself like, hey, Junkrat really needs a change, but after reading these posts by Geoff Goodman and this character on the forums, it seems like Junkrat really could benefit from these changes, and I'm honestly very excited to see these on the PTR soon, to see how everybody reacts to it, and to see how Junkrat could spice up the meta a little bit. If you haven't checked out any of my other videos, I highly recommend you do, as I'm always posting Overwatch news and keeping you guys in the community up to date with the newest and greatest stuff happening. I would appreciate it if you would leave a like and maybe subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that bell and get notified every time I upload an episode of Overwatch news. That's all for today though. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.
Like